All right, everybody, what is the deal? Your boy is back on the grind another time. And man, just off subject real quick, man, for those of you at home who have kids and got to do the homeschooling thing and all that, I applaud you right now. Man, it's crazy. Right now, my girl has her nieces and nephews in there, 3 of them in total, and we've been watching them for her brother and her sister. And her sister lives like a few hours away, and she needed help watching her one of her kids. And then my girl watches her brother's kids a few days a week, and sometimes they come here. And so she had to leave, and I was watching them for a while, and they were doing the homeschool thing. And I'm like, yo, some of this basic math stuff has got me like, ooh-wee. But man, I mean, just all that is just insane, man. This whole year has been crazy, and man, I just gotta applaud all you guys out there for playing the parent role, the teacher role, the provider role, and provide for your family and work from home and all that kind of stuff, man. I mean, playing so many different roles in the household, man, and it's it. And on top of that, try to get in some time for yourself is I'm sure a challenge in itself. So if you guys don't know, I don't have kids, but I mean, I definitely want them, and just, you know, it's just timing is everything, you know. And if it happens, it happens. But yeah, it's definitely pretty eye-awakening and definitely challenging, to say the least. But it's good, man. It's good to have them here. It's good to have that positive energy around and those vibes and everything. So anyways, now we'll get back to the deal of the car and the Caprice. So today is probably my second time actually working on it with the LSA swap. In the meantime, the previous video, you guys saw me get some parts in for it. Still some more parts that I need to order, some more parts to go. So, but today what I'm going to do is continue with the disassembly, maybe even attack some of the wiring on it as well. I still have the intercooler in there from my Pro Charger setup, so I would like to get that out. Should be fairly simple to get out. It's only 4 bolts holding it in from some brackets that I made. The only thing is the transmission cooler might be in the way because I have it tucked underneath, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to take that out and then get the intercooler out. So I just kind of want to get the intercooler out so I can start mocking up the other one, kind of see where I want to put it and everything. And I might even have to move the transcooler and everything, so that's the only thing that really sucks about it, is might have to relocate that. But oh, and also got this power steering puller kit or whatever, so I can finally take that pulley off, and then I can finally take the bracket off, the power steering and alternator bracket, truck style bracket, off the car, and finally get that out the way. So, but man, we making it happen. So, oh, as a matter of fact, my Dirty Dingo AC bracket kit is supposed to be here, so that's supposed to be here sometime soon. So hopefully I'll get that soon as well. So parts are on the way, y'all. We making it happen. And shoot, if you're just tuning into the channel, definitely hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell so you can get the notifications on when I post the videos. And shoot, man, just follow along. We got some good stuff coming, y'all. Some good stuff coming, so stick with me. I'm gonna go ahead and start somewhere on this thing. I don't know quite what I'm gonna do first, but I'll probably take this pulley kit and probably start to undo the power steering pulley and take that off so I can get that whole bracket up and out of the car. All right, let's get it. Disconnected some of the power steering hoses, and right as I was disconnecting them, the kids walked in. And I literally had power steering fluid all over my hands, and it was just as I was disconnecting the return line. Power steering fluid was everywhere, and they walk in. Of course. So yeah, that's how that went. But I'm in the middle of trying to disconnect this piece now. Oof. And then take this bracket out.
We'll see. I don't think there's another bolt holding it in. I think we got the one on the bottom, so. This is the only one holding it in, so we'll see. He'll get to see my struggles if I can't hold it.
At least I can take this off. Frick. Out of here. Of course it's caught up on something. I don't have my scissors here. Man. All right, y'all, I have been out here for a couple hours disassembling some more, and I've been making a lot of good progress here, y'all. Lots of good progress. So I took the intercooler out. That's my old intercooler right there. If you guys can see that big old thing, that thing is a monster. I was able to get that out and able to put in, just temporarily, the heat exchanger. And it is way smaller. I mean, it's probably less than half the size for sure. And the cool thing is now I don't have anything hanging underneath. So I'll be able to kind of completely hide it, and I should be good. The only thing is with it behind the bumper, I won't get as much airflow with it. There are some vents right here, so I'll get some. What I was thinking about potentially doing is, I know some cars have factory kind of like scoops on the bottom. I know the like the 2005s through the 2006 and 7, kind of mid 2000s have GTOs have the scoops on the bottom, I believe. So getting something like that and possibly to kind of draw more air in towards it, but it's not a huge deal. I mean, I might even have some room to add some electric fans because this heat exchanger is so thin, so I might even have that option. But we'll go and kind of see how it works. My intercooler was way bigger than this, and it was also obstructed by the bumper, and I never had any issues with IATs, so hopefully that'll be good. And the cool thing about it is they have these little flanges welded in on the side. You can't see them right now. They're kind of extension mounting pieces, and I'll be able to mount them to the sides of the core support. There's already some bolts there, and I might just have to make some aluminum extensions or something like that to kind of put those in there and make those kind of fit nice and good and flush, and I should be good. At least that's my idea for now. But as you can see, I know it's not the greatest video, but this wall doesn't give me a whole lot of room. But man, it looks so much different. I am so used to having these intercooler pipes hanging down, and now there's going to be nothing hanging down. That's going to be kind of weird, but it's going to be kind of cool to be nice and sleek and just totally sleeper. Everybody could always see the pipes in the front and they knew something was there, and now there's gonna be nothing. You won't be able to see anything, and that's actually kind of cool too. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that's gonna be when I roll up and people just kind of hear a slight subtle hint of the LSA so as I roll up. So that'll be really dope, y'all. But anyway, so I got that out, so that's major progress. Also, I don't think that I'm gonna have to relocate my remote transmission cooler. As you can see, it's hanging right there below, if you guys can kind of see it there. And I don't think I'm gonna have to move it. I relocated it because I had it hanging a little bit lower, and I clipped it one time when I was driving it. So I actually bent some brackets and things like that and kind of tucked it up higher. And I thought with this intercooler, I was gonna have to move it somewhere else. So I didn't even attach those to the Pro Charger intercooler brackets, so that is a plus. I think I'm going to luck out and be able to leave it there. So that'll save me major time, y'all, major time. So I was able to take this wire that was running underneath the car towards the starter, and it was connected to that sensor down there by the starter, which I think is the crank sensor. And I was able to pull that out and then basically unwind the spaghetti of a mess here and loop it around, and now it's all hanging right here. So that line is right here, and then that's a really long line. So, and then I was also able to take this part of the wiring harness, which is the passenger side coil, and also loop that over here. So as you can see, this is basically just one big set of wires that all come to this side. So what I am going to do is I'm going to order some of that really nice Loom, that mesh Loom sleeve. I'm going to order a bunch of that and just kind of re-loom a lot of this stuff. A lot of the wires are already ran. I don't have to like repin anything or anything like that, at least that I know for now. So I really just want to clean this up and just reroute it and hide it the best that I can and just make it look really nice. I'm not worried about hiding every single wire. As a matter of fact, this piece of loom right here, all this wiring that's going to be loomed, it's going to be running right here along the inner fender well, and I'm okay with that. Like I said, I'm really just looking for a clean install, something that would almost look like it would come factory with this car. So when I pop the hood, it'll just be nice, clean, no crazy wires anywhere, kind of like that right there. I have all those wires there. Those are just wires that I ran into the car for different sensors and lights and things like that, that I kind of just ran, and I just kept running them like that over the years. So I'm actually going to, a lot of those are grounds and some of them are power. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to disconnect those over there and pull them back and then run them all nice and all together. So that won't take too long, a little bit of time just to kind of clean things up. I think it'll make it look far better. I have some wires and stuff over here that kind of run to the electric fans and things like that. I'll make that look all nice. And then you'll see all this wiring here. A lot of it's for the lights. I have the HID headlights and this wiring relay and setup and all that. What I was thinking about doing is there's 2 bolts here. If you guys, I don't know if you guys can see, to hold down the inner fender. What I was thinking about is making a piece of aluminum, or have a piece of aluminum, and just cut it to fit under these bolts, and then bend it and kind of run straight up and bend it over so you can't really see that. It's not a huge deal, but you know, I think just kind of hiding it would be kind of cool. Something similar that I did right here, if you guys can kind of tell, there's a another fuse panel that I made, and I kind of covered it like this. So something similar to that, where I can kind of cover it and put it out the way and just make it look nice and neat. Again, that's not a major priority. That's probably something that I'll do like after the fact. But man, this thing is coming along. I'm actually further along than I thought that I would be at this time. I really just wanted to put the blower on there and just kind of just see what it looked like. But that thing is really heavy, and I really don't want to mess with it right now. And you know, I tweaked my back a while ago, and I don't want to be leaning over the car with that heavy blower and then tweak my back or something again just to see what it looks like. This blower has sensors in different locations, so I'm sure I'm going to have to kind of rewire or rerun those to different locations on the CTSV lid, and possibly even maybe cut and resolder some things to kind of make it look nice and neat. So we'll see, but that's why I just want to wait before I put that on. But I am going to have to put it on at some point to kind of test fit things. I've been watching a ton of videos on people's LS8s installs, anything from 5.3, 6.0s, GTOs, Chevelles, whatever, anything that has a LSA, just to kind of just see what things I could kind of come across that's going to hinder me from installing it, or if I run into, you know, a roadblock or something. I'm just trying to eliminate anything that I can right now so I don't get hung up. So I want to just make sure that it sits on there good. I don't have any interference from the coil packs. I did see one video where a guy had to actually modify his coil pack and move it down a little bit and re-drill holes in the coil pack to make them fit. So I just want to make sure I'm okay with that. Although he didn't have the blower adapters, and I will, so I think that'll kind of lift it up a little bit, so hopefully that helps. Also, another thing, the same guy actually ran into some problems with the bolts that kind of snug down the lid on top of the blower. I guess he was torquing them down and one broke, and he wasn't even to, you know, fully tighten on it yet. He was actually just torquing it down and it broke, the head of it broke, and he was obviously freaking out. I would too. And then he went to tighten the rest of them down, and another one broke. And so so then he took off the lid, took off the blower. He was pretty much done installing everything. And then he had to take off everything that he did, take it to a shop, get it drilled out, and then put it back in. And as he was installing it again, another one broke. So he had 3 bolts break, all from just trying to install that lid. And you know, he kicked himself in the butt a little bit for not going to Ace or a hardware store to get like grade 8 bolts or a little bit heavier duty bolts. So he says he definitely won't do that again. But that was really, really cool that he shared that, because I'm not even going to probably mess with those bolts. I'm probably just going to go to Ace or somewhere and get some grade 8 or heavier duty bolts and put those in there, and be really careful from tighten the lid down to the blower. So I'm glad that I saw that. So really just little things like that that I'm trying to research, so that way I don't have any hookups that's gonna stall me for, you know, long periods of time. And shoot, man, I'm really excited about it. Also, I'm hoping that this truck water pump will fit as far as the water neck goes. Now, I actually retweaked this water neck, and originally it was out cockeyed to here, and I actually turned it quite a bit so I could run this AC bracket. And I'm hoping by me turning it like that, it'll actually help me and not hurt me. If it does, then I'm probably gonna have to buy a new water pump for a truck, probably like 07 and newer, because those have the ones where the water pump neck actually comes out this way and it's a lot shorter, and that would work for this particular setup. But I also seen pictures and videos of people running this style. They just had to kind of modify some things to kind of make it fit. So hopefully that'll work. Still waiting on my AC bracket to come in from Dirty Dingo. I'm really excited about that. And yo, I think we are going to get there, you know, fairly quickly. Even though I am working so much, I think we're going to hopefully get this done. I'm not going to rush it though, y'all. So you guys just bear with me. I'm not going to rush it because I really just want to take my time with this, make sure everything is good and we are good to go. The wires are all ran nice and neat. And shoot, I am super, super, super excited about this, y'all. Really excited to get this thing installed and kind of hear it fire for the first time. Another thing is I talked to my tuner, and he says that I am actually going to have to get it retuned, mainly because I am running speed density. Now I don't have a MAF. I'm running speed density, so my MAF is totally deleted. And that's the only negative about it all. If I had a MAF, then my tune probably would have been fairly close, and I probably could have just took it to him and could have just made some small tweaks. But unfortunately, I guess I don't know if I have to get it fully retuned, but I know he has to do some other things to it because of the speed density setup that I have. Other than that, man, shoot, I think I might call it for the day, and I got some other things to do. And shoot, man, we are in there. One little scare that I had, I thought that I disconnected the power wire from the battery to the starter, because I did disconnect this main deal here, but I have another wire. Where is it at? Oh, right here. So this is the main wire that goes to the starter. I guess I didn't have that disconnected, and when I went to disconnect the starter, you know, everything was fine. And then when I was trying to knock the starter down and get it down, the the other end of that power lead coming from the battery down to the starter kind of sparked, and when it hit the oil pan. So that was kind of a scare, and I was like, man, I thought I took that off. So I have to definitely make sure I get my mind right and make sure I dot my I's and cross my T's, man, and make sure, you know, nothing crazy stupid like that happens. I was happy it wasn't something more serious where it like blew a fuse and I didn't know which fuse it was, and you know, when I went to start the car later, I'd have problems somewhere, and then I have to kind of like chase my own fault for what I did. So hopefully that is okay. But all right, y'all, what to do? It is the next day, and sorry if the screen's a little bit weird. I don't know why this LED light kind of makes little waves in the picture. I'm not sure why, but we are here. It's the next day. The engine still looks the same, probably from the previous clip, but like I said, it's the next day. I just got off work and I got a package in. Last night I placed an order on a bunch of these right here, and I found some at a decent rate. These are the split loom mesh wire looms, man. They're really nice kind. Let me see if I can open it here with one hand. Bear with me for a moment. All right, y'all. So yeah, this is the super nice kind, like the kind that you would get like if you ordered a Holly or something like that. Man, I found these on Amazon. I've been looking everywhere for these at a reasonable price. I got all 25 feet of every size that I could think of, up to an inch. So a 1/4 inch, 3/8, 1/2 inch. I think I even got an 1/8 inch was the smallest one, and 3/4, and I think this is 1 inch loom right here. My understanding is it can be stretched a little bit as well, and it can also actually shrink to like the next size smaller too. So that'll be cool. So I'm hoping to really clean up some of this mess over here and make everything look nice. I mean, trying to hide all the wires and have this really nice loom on it. This is a part number. Maybe this is the part number right here for the 1 inch. And what I'll do is I'll just give you this part number here, and if I can remember, I'll put it in the description also. But if you look up this part number, it'll bring up this here, and then from there you can actually click what size that you want. What is this card here? Yeah, so it's a company called Alex Tech. I'm not sure if it's Amazon affiliated or what. It was actually from a different company. I don't know who was selling it. It was like Sandtron or Sandtrans was the business name or something like that. But I'm not sure if this is an Amazon company and Amazon's making their own or what. I'm not sure. But as you can see, I got all different kinds of sizes in there, man. And I think I'm waiting for either my 1/8 inch or 3/8 is supposed to be here later on in the week. So I think what I'm going to do is I don't think I'm going to start on that. I think I'm actually going to try to mount the intercooler as I have it sitting there right now on a jack. And what I might do is strap some straps around it to kind of hold it up and then kind of mock up the areas where I might want it to go. I went to Ace, and I got a bunch of bolts here. I needed some longer ones. I'm gonna go ahead and try to start attacking this. I'll try to film as much as I can. I don't wanna open the door because it's super cold outside right now. So I'm gonna try to make this area that I have work. So I might not be able to film everything, but I'll definitely show you the steps along the way. All right, you guys, what's up? I've been at this for probably about 2.5 hours or maybe more, but just hanging the heat exchanger, but I think I got it. So I had to drill some holes in the intercooler, and luckily I had holes drilled that I'm going to use in the core support already. So I'm just using some existing holes that I had there already. I had to kind of oblong one to kind of get it to work. I went to Ace to get some bolts. So I have those. They're a little long, but they'll work. And I already have some existing bolts from actually hanging my transcooler. So I'm going to go ahead and mount it now. I might have to drill maybe one more hole or a set of holes, but I'm going to kind of mount it right now and kind of see how it fits and how it works. I'd like to have two mounting points on both sides, so basically 4 total mounting points, 2 on one side, 2 on the other. But we'll kind of see how this works. But let me go ahead and mount this right now. It's a little tight, so I won't be able to film it, but I will I'll go ahead and show you before I mount it and then after. All right, you guys, so it's kind of hard to see right now, but I'm basically mounting it in here. My intercooler used to sit right down in here, so I'm gonna take you under the car, kind of show you if you guys can see. There's some existing holes here. As you can see, I made this bracket. This is just leftover aluminum that I had, and I just bent it to fit, and it just fits. It just fits. So this hole was already there. Then I had on this end, this actually drills and mounts right into the side of the intercooler, which is right there. If you guys can see that hole there. And then on the other side, same thing. You guys can kind of tell over there. So there's 2 holes here and here, those 2 bigger holes, and that's where I'm mounting that on the intercooler over here. So you can already see I have that and some spacers in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this up here right now, and then see kind of how it sits up there. All right, you guys, so I got it mounted, and I actually think it's pretty good just with the 1 bolt on each side. Now, I'll probably put another one just to be safe, but I think it's actually pretty good. I have them snug right now, and it's like barely even moving, so I think that's really good. But just for precaution, I'll probably put 1 more on one side. It would take me a little bit of fabrication and more time to kind of do the one on the right side, and I'd probably have to get a little bit creative on the other side to make a bracket work, but we'll see. But this side would be a lot easier. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. All right, so like I said, I have them snug right now, and right now I'm kind of really trying to shake it, and it's not even really moving. It's moving like barely at all. But just for safety purposes, you know, just in case one comes undone or something like that, I'll probably put another one. I'm thinking right here, let me grab my light. So I'm thinking right here is what I do, well, is what I will do, and that'll probably be my easiest mounting point. What I'm thinking is using this bottom of this transcooler where that opening is right there, and then just making a little bracket, a little bend, not even a bracket, just cutting some aluminum and bending it just slightly, and then drilling a hole on that top of that heat exchanger and putting it through there, and just give it just that added little assurance there. So I have some aluminum here. This is what I usually use, like 1/8 inch thick aluminum. Really easy and pliable, so really super easy to bend. As you can see over here, it would take some little bit of ingenuity and something to kind of make it work, because I don't have anything to mount it to. As you can see, the top of that little flange piece that's part of the heat exchanger, there's nothing above it. So I'd have to like kind of do like a 180 turn from here or something like that. Another thing I can do is there's a bolt hole down there where I had took out because the cross brace was connecting the core support. So I took that out, and I could probably use that bottom piece and maybe come from the bottom down here where you would put that bolt through, and then maybe tie it into a piece of aluminum to the upper part of this heat exchanger. But I don't know, I don't really like that, and so I don't really know if that makes any sense or not. I'll see kind of how this goes over here, and then if it seems pretty secure and looks pretty good, I'll probably just leave it. So but I'll probably just call it for the day, y'all, right now, and then I'll go ahead and probably fix that on my next attempt, and then we'll call it good. Then that heat exchanger will be in its new home. I'm really happy about this, y'all. This was probably the most time-consuming part of the build, besides possibly, you know, rerouting the wires and stuff like that, I'm hoping. But man, that's a huge accomplishment. I'm super proud of that. I was going to try to make this into like a second part of the video, as far as the LS Swap Series build. I was trying to make as least videos as I can, but it's a lot of work, and I don't want to drag out the videos and make them super long, so I'll probably just do them in steps. So we'll probably call this more wiring and heat exchanger video or something like that. I will need to find a location for the pump, so I'm thinking possibly maybe on this side, but we'll see kind of how that works. Who knows? I don't really know. But anyways, y'all, man, I'm super excited about this. I'm glad to get that done, and shoot, we are on the way. We are making steps to one step closer to getting this thing started and getting the thing running, man. There's a lot more work involved than I thought that there would be, and so I'm just gonna put the videos out as I go, and and call this the LSA build, and just probably make a playlist of all the videos that I make in regards to the LSA swap. We'll probably call it on the heat exchanger. As you guys can see, it's in there pretty snug. I'm only gonna have to make one more small bracket that I showed you guys, so we probably won't drag out this video any longer. When I get that made, I'll go ahead and show you guys kind of what it looks like. The next steps would probably be to find out where I'm going to put the pump, probably somewhere near the heat exchanger as well. With that being said, man, I think the heat exchanger is in its final resting spot. So anyways, we'll go ahead and probably attack more wiring as well, and then my bracket for the AC should be in soon, and then we'll kind of just take steps as needed and keep going, y'all, one step closer to getting this thing done. So anyways, thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for following along. You guys know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff with me. We got this. Shoot, another step closer to the LSA swap. Holla out of here.